In the grand theater of human existence, some lives resonate beyond their time, echoing profound truths. Nelson Mandela, synonymous with resilience, endured nearly 3 decades confined by stone and steel. 27 years. Imagine the passage of those countless days, the turning of seasons witnessed through a narrow prison window, yet he emerged with a heart softened by peace. His journey is more than a political prisoner's freedom, it is a testament to the enduring power of the human spirit. It offers insights many men understand only when regret becomes a familiar companion. These are foundational truths, lessons from a life lived at the precipice of human endurance and moral courage. We gather these lessons today not as a eulogy, but as a beacon for those navigating their own lives. Within Mandela's story lie the keys to a life of purpose, strength, and unshakable integrity. These are the life lessons most men realize, sometimes painfully, only after it's too late. Let us embark on this exploration and perhaps learn them in time. Nelson Mandela spent 27 years in prison and still came out with peace in his heart. His story is not just one of freedom, but of wisdom. Here are the life lessons most men realize only after it's too late. Mandela, with the clarity of one who has stared into the abyss of human cruelty and chosen light, once observed, "Resentment is like drinking poison and then hoping it will kill your enemies." Consider the weight of those words. How many among us, men in particular, allow the acid of old wounds to curdle within? We carry these grudges like heavy stones in a sack. This burden colors our present and casts a long shadow over our future. The world often mistakes forgiveness for weakness, but Mandela understood a deeper truth. He knew that forgiveness is an act of profound self-interest and emancipation. True strength is found in the open hand of release. It is not primarily for the benefit of the transgressor that we forgive, it is for our own freedom. To forgive is to choose to no longer be a victim of the past. It is to cut the chains that bind us to an old hurt, allowing the soul to breathe, to heal, to move forward. It is a courageous declaration that our peace of mind is more valuable than nursing an ancient grievance. This is the liberation Mandela spoke of, a freedom that no prison can ultimately deny. It is a power we all possess, waiting to be wielded as a key. Mandela said, "Resentment is like drinking poison and then hoping it will kill your enemies." Most men carry grudges for years, but true strength is found in forgiveness, not for others, but for your own freedom. 27 years. Let that span of time settle in the mind. More than a quarter of a century, lived within the stark confines of a prison. Nelson Mandela waited. He did not merely pass the time, nor did he succumb to despair. His waiting was an active state, a period of profound preparation. He cultivated his mind, spirit, and resolve, transforming his confinement into a crucible for the leader he was to become. He understood that significant transformations are rarely born of haste. In our modern age, we chase the immediate, the instantaneous. Success is often measured by its speed. We grow restless with delays, frustrated by processes that unfold at their own pace. Yet Mandela's life stands as a testament to a different rhythm. He teaches us that real, lasting change requires patience, discipline, and a vision held steadfastly against time and doubt. This patience is not passive resignation, it is active engagement with the process of becoming. It is the understanding that foundations must be laid meticulously. Growth often occurs unseen before it can break forth into the light. Some seeds require long winters before they can blossom. For men striving for greatness, this lesson is paramount. Embrace the long arc, cultivate inner fortitude, and understand that enduring structures are built over seasons of dedicated labor. Mandela waited 27 years behind bars, not in bitterness, but in preparation. Chapter 3. The Quiet Hand, Leading from a Place of Purpose. It is better to lead from behind, Mandela observed, and to put others in front, especially when you celebrate victory. You take the front line when there is danger. These are not the words of a man driven by the clamor for recognition. They are the reflections of a leader guided by a profound and selfless purpose. In a world dominated by the loudest voice, his approach offers a powerful counter-narrative. Many who aspire to lead can fall prey to the notion that leadership is about command and dominance. The ego whispers of status and acclaim, but Mandela understood that such leadership is often brittle. Real leaders inspire enduring loyalty and effect genuine change. They serve, they listen with an open heart, they dedicate themselves to lifting others. The ego seeks to divide, to create hierarchies. Purpose acts as a unifying force. It draws people together, focusing their energies on a shared vision. Mandela's leadership was a masterclass in this principle. He sought not to be the hero of the story but to empower a nation to become its own hero. For men navigating their own paths of influence, this lesson is crucial. Let purpose, not ego, be your guide. He once said, "It is better to lead from behind and to put others in front." Real leaders don't seek attention. They serve. They listen. They lift others first. Ego divides. Purpose unites. Chapter 4. The Unwavering Spine, the Cost and Courage of Conviction. Consider the sacrifices. Nelson Mandela relinquished his freedom, the comfort of a life unchained, the years of his youth, the presence of his family, all for an ideal that burned brighter than any personal cost. He faced the full might of an oppressive state, yet his spirit remained unbent. In a world where convenience often trumps conviction, his life poses a stark question. What are you willing to stand for, even when the price is high? Most people shy away from conflict, from the trouble that standing firm on principle can invite. Silence can seem like a sanctuary. But Mandela's journey illuminates a profound truth. The silence born of fear carries its own cost. If you do not stand for something fundamental, you risk eroding the essence of who you are. His was not a reckless defiance, but a commitment to an ideal of a democratic and free society. This is the benchmark of true conviction. Some principles are non-negotiable, some injustices demand a response. For men seeking to live lives of meaning, Mandela teaches that courage is not the absence of fear, but the decision that something else is more important than fear. It is the willingness to pay the price for what you believe in. Mandela gave up his freedom, his comfort, even his youth, for justice. Most men stay silent to avoid trouble, but Mandela teaches us, if you don't stand for something, you risk losing everything. Chapter 5. The Inner Revolution, where true freedom begins. The gates of Victor Verster prison swung open in 1990, a moment of monumental significance. But the true liberation of Nelson Mandela did not commence on that celebrated day. It was a quieter revolution, unfolding within the confines of his cell. He understood a truth that often eludes us. The world around us seldom changes until we first change ourselves. Many men, when faced with adversity, look outward for solutions. They wait for circumstances to shift, for the external world to align with their desires. There is a tendency to see oneself as a product of environment, but Mandela's life offers a different perspective. He demonstrates that true freedom begins within. It is cultivated in the deliberate shaping of one's mindset, in the conscious exercise of one's choices. While imprisoned, he chose study over despair, reflection over resentment. He forged an inner resilience that no amount of external oppression could extinguish. This internal transformation was the bedrock upon which his later actions were built. For every man seeking to navigate life, this lesson is fundamental. Look inward. The power to redefine your reality resides within your own heart and mind. Change yourself, and you begin to change the world. Mandela's transformation didn't begin when he left prison. It began while he was inside it. Most men wait for the world to change, but true freedom starts when you change yourself. Chapter 6. The Enduring Light, a Legacy for the Ages. Nelson Mandela did not merely witness history, he bent its arc towards justice. He steered a nation from the precipice of civil war towards a future of hope and reconciliation. But this achievement was only possible because he first transformed himself. His life stands as proof that true greatness is forged in struggle, patience, and integrity. These are not lessons reserved for icons. They are human truths, available to us all. Yet life often delivers these insights only after years have been squandered. Mandela invites us to a different path, to learn proactively, to integrate these principles into our lives now. Do not wait until the twilight of your years to understand the power of forgiveness, the necessity of patience, the strength of purposeful leadership, the courage of conviction, and the freedom that begins within. Let his example be a guiding star. Live with dignity that commands respect through character. Live with courage that faces adversity with resolve. Live with purpose that extends beyond your own needs. For in doing so, you honor his memory and unlock the potential for a life of profound meaning. The journey is yours to take. Nelson Mandela changed a nation, but only after he changed himself. His life is proof that greatness is born in struggle, patience, and integrity. Don't wait until life forces these lessons on you. Learn them now, and live with dignity, courage, and purpose. What counts in life is not the mere fact that we have lived, it is what difference we have made in the lives of others. Nelson Mandela. If this moved you, subscribe to Wisdom Within Quotes for more timeless truths from history's greatest minds. Your journey to wisdom starts now.